Okay, today we're going to look at the classic John Deere 4020. And I'm sure a lot of people have memories, but I'm going to share mine of this great tractor. Kind of the icon of John Deere, the great 4020. Just a little history. Uh, they were made from 1963 to 1972, and they were the most popular of the 20 series new generation tractors. More than More than 184,000 units were manufactured. It was available in row crop, standard, or high crop. And the 4020 replaced the identical 4010 model. However, John Deere had some improvements and, of course, a lot more power. You get three types of engines. You could get a diesel, gasoline, and even LPG. And two types of transmissions, a synchro range and a power shift. In 1970, the tractor price ranged from $9,000 to $12,000. And today they're going to be a lot more because they're a collector's item and a lot of people still use these great tractors. I believe horsepower were in the 80 to 90 range, something like that, depending which tractor or which engine you had, the diesel or the gas. I think the gas actually at the PTO was rated a little higher. I think the diesel at the PTO was 93 horsepower and the gas 101 PTO horsepower. The drawbar horsepower, I'm thinking, I know you guys can look it up yourself, but it's in the 80-90 range. In my experience, is probably one of the biggest tractors I drove when I was younger, and I just loved it. I loved the way it sounded, the way it drove. It was just, many consider it the Cadillac of tractors at the time, which of course I know that's probably debatable with your IH fans or your Alice Chalmers fans, but the 4020 is just a great tractor. And I remember I was 13 or 14, probably both those same 2 years that I helped my neighbor, the same guy I mentioned in the videos with the Massey Fergusons. Anyway, I remember getting off the school bus and Dad would let me drive the truck over there. And when I got there, he'd have a note on the tractor and already hooked up to an implement, and he'd tell me which field to go to. And then I would go out there and work the fields till 9 or 10 at night, and go home, get up and go to school. And then the weekends we'd work all day, Saturday and Sunday, to get the fields ready for planting. And he'd always let me drive that 4020, and I loved it. And he had a radio on the right fender, and I used to love that. And of course, it got a little cold on the spring nights, so I'd have to bundle up, and I still enjoyed it. And I always had my cigarettes or my chewing tobacco, and there was just a young man feeling like he's reaching manhood. So it was just a lot of fun. Dad let me drive the truck, and then my neighbor let me drive this great tractor. So a lot of good memories for that tractor. And yeah, I remember back in the day, I don't. It was a while till I even got into a cab tractor, because I was just always used to being out there with no cab, hot summer days and cold spring nights. So it was just a whole different animal. But anyway, I just wanted to share my experience with this great iconic tractor. And if you haven't drove one, go drive one. You'll see what we mean. All right, later. Oh, and by the way, how many out there remember the little pedal tractors as a little fella? Oh, yeah. Those were fun, weren't they?